Tom, thanks for sitting down with me today. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Tom, Condor Seeds, established in 1985, started out of your garage, if I understand correctly. Mm-hmm. It comes across very clearly that you're a passionate seedsman, Tom. Can you walk me through a little bit about how did Condor Seeds come to be, and what makes you so passionate about the seed business?
Well, Condor Seed, I've been in the seed business myself since I graduated from college, which was 1974. And so I've always been in the seed business, always been in the vegetable seed business, and worked for a couple of different companies. In 1985, I found myself wanting to do something different, and I connected with another longtime seedman, Doug Dorsing, mm-hmm. and he and I together started Condor Seed in 1985. For the first few months, I was working out of my house or garage, if you will, and but we built a new building, our first building in 1986, and the company has grown from there. The vegetable seed industry is a very intriguing industry for me. We have the opportunity, it's a very small industry worldwide, and so over the years you have opportunity.
I don't mean to interrupt, Tom, but is it a small industry or is it just a really tight industry?
Well, I think it's both.
Oh, fair enough.
I mean, it's definitely a tight industry, but I mean, compared to almost anything else, the vegetable seed industry worldwide is relatively small.
Right, fair enough.
But as a result of that, you get close to people from all over the world. You get friends all over the world, and just by nature of the product that you're working with, especially, and Condor Seed is a production company. You know, we don't do breeding, we don't do sale to the growers. And so when you're in production, it's a new game every year.
Right, indeed. New challenges every year.
New challenges every year, and that's what keeps it interesting. That's what keeps, so it keeps people interested, because it's never the same,
So last year, Condor celebrated 30 years, if my math is correct.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
correct.
30 years. And then a couple years before that, you formed a partnership / sold the business 2 years before that in 2013.
Mm-hmm.
Can you talk a little bit about that transaction, and then a little bit about how that helps Condor move into the future?
Okay. Well, again, going back to the beginning, Condor Seed, Doug Dorsing had another company called Dorsing Seeds, so he owned both companies. I worked with him from the very beginning on Condor, and he was getting to the point where he wanted to pull back a little bit, and so it was an opportune time where Suba Seeds came in and wanted to look at Condor, and it was kind of the perfect fit at the time, and so over a process of time, obviously the negotiation was final, and we became part of what we call the Suba Group.
And Suba's an Italian company, right?
Suba's an Italian company. Before they bought Condor, there was 5 companies. They had 1 in France, 4 in Italy, doing primarily seed production, a couple of others that were doing a home garden market and that kind of thing. But since the acquisition, it's been good for Condor to grow. There's a lot of synergies that happen between the two companies. The major products that we produce, they don't, and vice versa. And Suba's a lot larger company than we are, and so consequently, they've also been able to refer some of their customers to us for products that we grow. And so in that way, it's been a real plus, real positive.
Excellent. And you mentioned products, and your current price list contains over 350 unique products. 28 are proprietary or semi-exclusive varieties. You currently serve 330 customers in 55 countries around the world. That's pretty impressive for a guy starting 30 years ago out of his home.
Right.
How do you go about meeting the needs of such a diverse customer base?
Well, that's kind of a hard question to answer. I guess you focus on what you do well. So what happens? There are certain kind of vegetable seeds, and I'll take short day onions as an example, which is one of our big products. There's only maybe 4 or 5 places in the world that you can really consistently produce good short day onion seed. And our area is one of them. So consequently, we have a lot of companies that come to us from all over the world that have need for onion seed in their markets, but they can't produce the seed. And so consequently, it gives us an opportunity to get into many different markets. So we just look at each customer individually and what their needs are, and hopefully we're able to meet those.
Our team was on your website, and one of the things that my colleagues pointed out was there was a big focus on your team. You got 20 plus people with an average service of 11 plus years working for Condor. That doesn't happen a lot in our business, and it became very obvious to us that people are a big part of your business, and that you spend a lot of time thinking about how to. I was going to say manage, but I'm going to change it to take care of those people.
Right.
Can you talk a little bit about those long-term relationships and why you believe it's in place?
Well, I'll go back again maybe to what I was talking about on production earlier in Mother Nature. When you're in seed production, Mother Nature throws you a lot of curves, and that's just the way it is. But there are certain things that mitigate those things, and it takes experience and people that know how to do that, so that you come up with a more consistent product. And I believe, I really think that, especially with small companies like ours, that the company is the people. I mean, that's true. I'm the manager or the president of the company at this time, but without my people, I just we wouldn't be successful.
Right.
And so we find, when we find somebody that works well and that fits in a niche with our company, we try and take care of them. The company has good benefits, and we feel like we're probably on a little bit of the higher end as far as the wages that we pay, and that helps us keep our people.
So you're telling me, Tom, that there's some decisions that can't be made by computers when it comes to agricultural production?
Yeah.
Who knew?
Who knew? Who would have guessed?
That's great. Well said, sir. We're down here in sunny California, or sunny today, finally, California, at the ASTA Flower and Veg Conference. Why is this meeting important for you and your company?
It has become increasingly more important. This meeting has always been somewhat of a trading meeting, and that's why if you look into the trading room, you'll see, I don't know how many tables there are this year, but there's a bunch. And so ASTA is a wonderful organization for many different reasons, but the reason this meeting is so important for us is because of the trading. This year, for example, I have 4, including myself, we have 4 people from our company at this meeting. We will have probably around 75 to 80 business meetings with different companies between the 4 of us over the 3.5 day period. And so it's just invaluable as far as being able to meet companies and from all over the world. 20 years ago, this meeting maybe had, and I'm guessing at these numbers, so I'm sure ASDA staff would be able to give you firm numbers, but I'm guessing that the international participation in this meeting 20 years ago was less than 10%. And now I'm guessing it's, again, I'm guessing, but I'm guessing it's more like 30 or 35%.
It's considerable, and I know that there's, I believe there's 125 trading tables on the trading floor, all of which are busy almost all of the time.
Right.
What did she say today? 876 participants, bigger than it's ever been. So I think it's kudos to ASTA for being able to pull together the right group. And
Right.
so when we talk about that tight, smaller industry, it really is a who's who of the flower and veg at this meeting, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's a do not miss. Yeah.
Yep.
Tom, thanks very much for taking the time.
Okay. Appreciate it. Thank you.